the gnome that I made that I wanted to show you in today's Vlogmas video, how I created this super cute. It was so easy, so affordable, made with products from Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Joann Fabrics, and Walmart. Super affordable. I do have a Dollar Tree only version coming to you soon. I did make a couple of gnomes that look a little bit different. They're Dollar Tree products, so it doesn't look quite as high quality as this one. This one's adorable. I want to make another one. I think I'm going to this weekend because I have one more pair of little cute little boots. So I'm going to make another one of these guys, but I wanted to show you guys how I made this. So let's get into the tutorial. For this particular gnome, you're going to need either some rice or beans, something to make the body. I prefer to use a slipper sock for this one, so you'll see later why a slipper sock is good. I got this at Dollar General, $3 for a pair of them. I got the fur at Joann Fabrics. It was for like $3.50. You can make many gnomes out of this fur. The little booties actually came from Walmart. They're ornaments is what they are, so you can probably find those in several different places. The little nose came in a pack of like 8 of them at Michael's, and then it's just a wooden ball. The little hair ties came from Dollar Tree, and then the batting came from Walmart. So those are what you need for all to start off with. So you're also going to need a glue gun and some scissors. So you're going to want to cut your sock right there at where I guess that's the heel of your foot. I couldn't think of the word. So the slipper socks are a little bit hard to cut, but you want to cut that right there at the heel. And you're going to use this entire sock. So you want to take the bottom and then the top. So this, the bottom part of the sock is going to be your body of your gnome. You're going to want to kind of separate here the two. I'm kind of stuffing that, inner part kind of in right there so I can add in the rice. And again, you can use beans. You're just going to put just enough in there just to kind of fill the bottom of the toe. That way it kind of just has a good steady bottom. And then we will be adding on more batting on top just to, kind of fluff it out a little bit more. I am messy, y'all. You guys know that from my cooking, my crafting, I'm messy. So you just want to kind of stuff that in there and then stuff a little bit of batting in there. And that way, I don't know what they call it, fiber fill, I think that's what they call it. Just to kind of fluff it up a little bit more, however big you want the body to be. This is completely up to you. We want this body to be a little bit fuller though because we're putting boots on there. Then you just want to take some of those like rubber hair ties. It's just that they're small. I love them. Like I said, I get them at Dollar Tree. Just wrap that around there, and then you're going to want to cut just a little bit there off the top because you don't need that big of a topping there. So cut that off, and then you have your little gnome body. Again, you want this one to be a little bit fuller because of the boots. Next up, we are going to take our little body. You can see I kind of fluffed it up a little bit just to make it a little bit longer and everything too. So we have our body. Next up is going to be the top. So we have our little hat here. Now, the reason why I like the slipper socks is because I like to be able to make a little trim. As you noticed on my gnome, it had like a little fur trim around the hat. So I'm just going to take some of my glue gun, and I burn myself constantly. Let me know down in the comments if you burn yourself every time you use a glue gun. So you just want to take this now, because these are not really expensive socks. These are cheap socks from the Dollar General. You can also get these at Dollar Tree. My Dollar Tree has the worst selection of everything. I have the worst Dollar Tree in my area. So I could not find any slipper socks, but you may be able to find some in your area. But again, these were like $2 or $3 at Dollar General, but they're not the best quality. So when the fur was kind of all over the place. So I had to kind of work with it, but I love the look of a trim, like kind of a fur trim around the top. And if you guys are creative people, you may, if you can't find all the same supplies that I used, you may be able to come up with your own alternative. And that's kind of what I did when I looked at some different videos and some different things on crafting websites where people have made these gnomes. I just think it's absolutely adorable. So I just want to keep going around until you get all the fluff kind of all glued down and to where it's nice and secure, and then we will move on to the next step. Now that we have our trim all done, we are going to make a ball out of the top. Again, this is why I like these slipper socks with the trim on it like that, because we just made our own little pom-pom ball. You can buy the big pom-pom balls like this. You can buy these ones. I found these at Joann's. They're really super cheap at Joann's. I have learned Joann Fabrics is a lot more affordable than I thought they were. I had to find a lot of things there. So I'm just taking one of my little elastic bands I got at Dollar Tree and just wrapping it around just so we can get kind of a nice little ball shape here. And you can also use some cord, like I have there, the cord. So I'm also going to tie some twine around it, just so I can get a nice, you know, kind of covers up the rubber band, and also just to, you know, just to get it nice and tight. And I tied it off and just cutting it with the scissors. And now I'm going to take some glue and I'm just going to glue down that knot, just to ensure that that knot is nice and sturdy and it won't, you know, go anywhere. So then I'm just going to kind of fluff the top a little bit till you get kind of a nice little pom-pom look. And here we have our little hat for our gnome. It's already looking so cute. Fur can be really expensive, but this is really affordable. Got it at Joann's. You can use a mop head from Dollar General or Dollar Tree, and which I will show you that in another video. But look how much fur you get for like $3 and something. You want to use a razor blade, because if you cut it with scissors on the back, on the front of it, you'll lose the length of the beard. So if you just cut it with a razor blade on the back, then it kind of tears it apart, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now we kind of want to measure out. We want to be able to be sure that the beard goes all the way around the body. And then I'm going to mark it. So I'll just take, I kind of was undecided here. I'll try to edit out most of my, this is the first time I'm doing this and I don't know what I'm doing. Because this is the first time I've ever made one of these, and I am just so pleased with the outcome. So I'm just going to take a Sharpie and I'm going to mark it where I want it to lay down around it. Or maybe I'm not going to take a Sharpie. Maybe I'm just going to take my razor blade. I think I come back to the Sharpie because I think I figure it's not working. And I think my husband had to help me with the razor blade because it was not working right and he had to tell me how to use it. So anyway, I will skip through all this part. Mark it with a Sharpie to make sure you get your beard at the length you want. I wanted mine to kind of hang down below the body, and you'll see I kind of made it a little bit too long, but anyway, just take a razor blade, make sure it's sharp, and just kind of cut along the back. Now this is fake fur, of course, so you're gonna have to kind of cut through the plastic on the back of this, but believe me, you want to do it this way. And I saw this in a couple different videos where they talked about doing it this way, again, so you don't cut through the fabric. See how it pulls apart right here? So that's what you want, because when it pulls apart like that, you don't lose the integrity of the fur that hangs down over the edges of, it looks like a real beard basically. So that's why you want to do it this way. But yeah, just be careful and make sure you have a sharp little razor blade. So here you go. See how that just lays? That is so pretty. I have another version of this fur that I'm going to use in my second one I'm going to make. That's it's like a Mongolian type fur where it's kind of like a brown color. Okay, so now we are going to take our boots and our fur. So now you can notice I made mine just a little bit too long, but I'm also the slipper socks, have those little like non-slip buttons. That's why I'm putting the beard over that part, so then it's not on the back of your body. Not that you're going to be able to see it anyway. So what you want to do is kind of figure out where you want your beard to be. You want to leave kind of a little edge at the top just to make sure that that you have room for the nose and the hat and all that. Now I'm doing a mustache. So to do a mustache, you just want to kind of take and just do a little rectangle about the length that you would like. So that's what I'm doing here, cutting out a little rectangle to make the mustache, and you'll see what I'm going to do next. So pull it apart there, and then you want to kind of just pinch it in the middle and kind of just glue it to where it, looks like a mustache. So that'll be on the gnome as well. Okay, so we have our beard again. Now we're going to go ahead and glue it down this time. All that waiting here. So you just want to take your glue. Again, be careful, but you want to get enough on there to make it stick, because, this actually sticks really well to fabric, I've noticed. Again, leave yourself a little lip there so you have, enough room to add your hat on and your nose and all that. And look, see how that first stuck to my finger? It was burning the heck out of me. I burned myself so much. Okay, so we got our beard on. Now we're going to go to the next step. You want to grab your little hat you made, and now we want to make sure it fits on there, which you should have done to begin with before doing all this, but it fits on there just nicely. So you want to kind of see how your hat's going to fit. You don't want to tack it all down 100% yet, because we still need to do our nose. We still need to do our mustache and all that, but it's kind of just to see where it's going to lay and where to put the nose, because you want the nose to be tucked under the hat. So that's why I like to kind of see where the hat kind of lays and where the nose needs to go, and then you want to go ahead and you can put your nose on. Like I said, these are like little wooden balls, they actually have a hole in the back of them, so I'm not really sure what they're used for, but I just glued the hole down. Again, I got like 8 of these, I think, at Michael's for like $4 and something, but let me tell you, they're a lot cheaper at Joann Fabrics, because I went to Joann's second, and I saw the balls, they had all different size ones, much cheaper. So definitely maybe check out Joann's first, or maybe your Dollar Tree has them. Now we're going to put the mustache on right underneath the little nose. You don't have to do a mustache. It's completely optional, but I think the gnomes look absolutely adorable with the mustaches. So again, just be really careful. Don't burn yourself. And you can get your little mustache on, and then we'll be moving on to the hat next. Okay, so now you want to grab your hat, and I want to glue it down on the nose first. This is what I saw in some videos. I said if you kind of put it on the nose first, that way you get the nose, you know, nice and tucked under. And you want to kind of, you know, just take it and just kind of press it there down on the nose. And then once that's nice and secure, then we'll go around the entire hat and you know, start tacking it down all over the rest of the body. So I kind of went to the back first. That way I could, you know, make sure it was tacked on nice and tightly. And it takes quite a bit of glue. I actually think I had to go back a couple of times and just to make sure everything was tacked down. So let's get the hat on. The hat is on, so now I want to kind of drape the hat a little bit. I just think it wasn't laying on its own. If you use socks that aren't quite as thick and fluffy, then they'll lay on its own. So I'm just taking a little bit of glue. The ones that I watch, the videos I watch, people didn't use slipper socks. They used just regular socks, so they didn't have to do this step. And you'll see in the other gnome tutorials that I'm going to show you, I didn't have to do that step as well. So I'm just putting just a little bit there and a little bit on the end of the pom-pom, and there we go. So there's a little gnome. Now you could just, this is where you could stop if you don't have any boots. This is it. You know, look how cute he is. You don't really need the boots to make him cute. He's adorable, but we're going to use the boots. I got these at Walmart. They're an ornament. I had to stock Walmart literally for 10 days. I went there every day for 10 days, y'all. Walmart, every day for 10 days. Yeah, I don't like that. But I did because I wanted to see if they had those boots. And I went every single day, and finally the day I found them, there were 2 pairs of boots left, which cracks me up because there was none every day for 10 days. I picked up both pairs because I knew I wanted to make 2 gnomes, one for my desk and one for somewhere else on my breakfast bar or something, wherever I put it. Anyway, so you want to put some glue. You don't even have to take the boots apart. Don't have to glue them together because they're already glued together. But if you do find some boots that may not be glued together the way these ones are, then just go ahead and glue the sides of each of the boot and make sure they're together. That'll just make it a lot easier for you. So just put glue on top. Sit your little gnome on it. Now again, this is why you want the wider body. So I did have to kind of spread mine out a little bit just to make sure you fit on the boots. But yeah. Just uses lots of glue. Use lots of glue. Be very liberal with your glue gun. I did notice that. And here he is. Now his beard's a little bit long, so I'm just gonna tuck it under and glue it. So I should have probably measured it a little bit better. So it's not gonna have that, you know, kind of round effect at the bottom. I could have just taken it off and glued it and, you know, re-glued it and stuff, but I didn't want to do that. So I'm just tucking it under just so I can see his boots, because otherwise I couldn't see his boots, and I feel like you have to see the boots. So yeah, look at that. Isn't he so stinking cute? I was very impressed that actually this turned out so well. This was my very first one. I made the Dollar Tree ones later on. So this is my very first one. I think he turned out super cute. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial. Let me know if you have made these little gnomes before, and let me know if you plan on making one of these. Again, all the supplies are super simple. You can find them, they're affordable. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's Vlogmas video, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's. Bye guys.
Making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to